What's up, everybody? Hope you're all having a wonderful day, night, evening, or whatever time you're watching this. And I'm glad to have anyone returning back to look at toys with me. That's what we're doing today. In today's video, it's going to be more review type, I guess, as opposed to unboxing. And the figure we're looking at is the -1 Godzilla, the 2023 edition, minus color edition. A lot of minus. That was 2 minus, actually. But yeah. So, I guess we'll just get into it. First of all, I'm just going to point this out, by the way. I don't have another -1 figure to compare him to. I don't have one yet. I don't have his regular form. I don't recall if they released a burned version or battle damage. Not battle, but heat ray damage. And I also don't have his heat ray version. In fact, it's the only -1 figure I have. So it's going to be a bit difficult to compare him to other ones. But that's what we're working with. Anywho, one thing I will say though, I do love the black and white color scheme on him. I love the little bits of, I'm assuming it's white that they paint along, or I'm assuming it's airbrushed alongside him on certain spots, like his face, a little bit on his dorsal plates, and the tail and feet and legs. Another thing, figure has some great articulation, specifically like most Godzilla figures anyways. A good portion of it is in the tail. How many it is, I do not recall. Let's look at the B at least. It's got at least 10 in the tail. You know, you can hit a decent amount of poses with the tail. Because in my opinion, that's where some of those good poses come from. Is, you know, when you got the tail struck up. His head, like I said, his head doesn't have too much articulation. Let's just pop that back in there. But he doesn't have too much articulation in that. You can kind of look left and right a bit, but not too much else. The head pops off. You know, I don't really know if the jaw can be, like all Godzilla figures, you can open his jaw. It's got some decent articulation in the arms. You can spin them a full. Oh wait, you can get a full 360. Elbows, not too much. Oh, okay, yeah. Can't bend his arms anyways too much. Ooh, just gotta pop that back in there real quick. That. Let me just get in there. There we go. No, I lost it. Oh yeah. Arms, it's got a full 360. Not the arm. Yeah, the arms. Forearms. Not too much going on there. You can do some simple posing with it. Hands, not a lot going on there. You can twist them around. You have the typical Godzilla hands pose where he's got the fingers pointed down. If you wanted to, you do a shin pointed up. I call this one the Spinosaurus, where they're pointed inwards. Wait, did the Spinosaurus do? Maybe not. Anywho, for the legs, you got another full 360. Oh wait, no, I wouldn't say 360. No, you do. I didn't move them that way before, but yeah, you got a full 360. But I don't know who would be posing them in ways that they should be bending that way. So if you do have like stands to hold him up, you can definitely put him in a pose where he looks like he's swimming. And I was messing with him earlier. We kind of did a you can somewhat do pose where he's like bending down, I guess, to roar. The hip, not a lot of movement in his hips. I don't know many Godzilla figures that have a lot of hip and torso movements. You move it a little bit, not too much though. Also, you should be careful when moving some of them. This goes for the tail as well, because some of the plates do hit it. Some of his dorsal plates will hit it. Oh. Ignore that. But yeah, some of his dorsal plates will hit each other when moving, and so do be careful with that. Also, I don't know if this was... I'm assuming this is the same for all other -1 figures, but 3 out of his 4 toes can move on their own. Look at that. They all got their own separate joints. So that's pretty cool. It's neat. Like I said, 3 out of the 4. This one's right here. Don't do much movement. Rawr. Also, for accessories, he comes with nothing. No spare hands, heads. Sadly, I was bummed to see it didn't come with a black and white atomic breath, heat ray, whatever you want to call it. By the way, leave down in the comments. When you refer to his for this energy blast, do you refer to it as his atomic breath or a heat ray? Or do you flip-flop depending on which Godzilla it is? Because I know canonically certain ones don't actually shoot an atomic breath, like what's his face? Was Godzilla Ultima doesn't shoot an atomic breath. I remember hearing somewhere that it summons a laser from the future, and that show's confusing, and I want my season 2, but it confuses me. But anyways, back to -1. Another thing, he is a great scale figure. I think he's about 6 inches tall. And here's, for comparison, we got Burning Godzilla. So they are, let me just make sure he's standing up tall. Yeah, they're about the same height. Actually, I think they are the same height. Let me just, definitely same height. And this is, SH is Burning. I think the only other people who have a Burning out are Super 7. No, wait. Yeah, Super 7 has one. I don't know what theirs looks like. And here is, you've seen it before in other videos, Haya's, not 24, this is 2019. Actually, I think this is Monarch's Godzilla. It's kind of hard to tell some of them apart because they all share the same mold, but this is at least bare minimum 2019's Godzilla. He's definitely I can tell, a little bit bigger, but not by a lot. So depending on if you ever want to do any poses with your -1 Godzilla with anything else, he does technically, actually no, not scale fairly well, depending. Because I know he's supposed to be the exact same height as the 1954 Godzilla. And considering I guess the original Toho ones were fairly similar in size. I think it was, they were all pretty close in size. I think it was Monsterverse where they really upped their scale. And then Shin. But yes. So in terms of technical scale, depending on the figures, he's pretty good. I'd say if you put him up against, technically he's definitely not on scale with this Godzilla. He's supposed to be, more double his size. Right. He's be able to kick him like a football. But these are figures, so I'm not expecting them to be twice the size. But he is great scale for posing with other figures. I'll say that. Sure way of saying he's still good for it. But honestly, Like I said, this is also my only -1 figure. But I say if you're ever in the store and you see them on the shelves, or you're just scrolling through online, and you see one just sit, and you see one that's available, I'd say go for it. Pull the trigger. Waste your money, people. Feed into your addictions. But yeah, I'd recommend getting one. Because okay, I keep popping stuff. I keep moving him too much. Ooh, ignore that. But he is a good figure. I will, and I am enjoying him. And I'll be enjoying more poses I can do when I find space. I don't have space for him. Ugh, I need more space. But that's all I have for today. If you enjoyed, thanks for sticking around. You know what? Tell me down in the comments below. What's your favorite figure you got? Either from SH Monsterarts, Hiya Toys, if you do shop from the Super 7, or any other studio that I know there are, but any other studio that makes figures. Tell me below. What's your favorite? What are you hoping they release next? And if your favorite hasn't been made, what is it? Man, I guess until next time, bye.